If you've ever lived through a home reno, then you know it can be a mess. But for me, tracking invoices, to-do lists, and ideas has kind of been just as messy. Until I started putting it all in one place in Notion. So I want to show you the Notion page I designed to track my home reno, but actually it can be used for anything. Anything you need to have a dashboard for, to corral it all into one place. So I'm going to show you exactly how I created this page step by step. So I created this simple home page for our renovation, kind of just very minimalist, like a website map back in the day. So let's show you how I did it. First of all, I started with a new page from my Life Hub. I'm sure you know how to do that. When I named the page, I had the option to include an emoji. I'll just call this one Casa 2. If you don't see the option to add an icon, just hover. And of course, I'm doing this on my desktop. You will see add icon there. There are emojis, which are lots of fun. For this one, I actually went into icons and you can choose any color. So I chose pink, but we'll make this one different and choose orange. Then I wanted to add an inspiring cover. So you see now I only have two options. The add emoji option is no longer there, but if you want to switch it out, all you do is click on it. And then you have all kinds of options, or you can remove it altogether. Now I want to add a cover page. That's the one that populates. Ancient Egypt or Greece, not really our vibe for this renovation, so I'm going to change the color. If I wanted to be super organized, I could upload a picture of our actual house, but I think I'll just go into Unsplash and find a good picture of a house. I don't know why I want this as my house picture, but I click on it and there we go. Get some succulents. So many amazing photos just ready for you to use. You don't even have to go out of Notion. It just populates right within Notion. It's amazing. To choose a new one, all you do is click. And then if you're not loving the positioning, you just click reposition and drag the image to reposition. On my page, I just wrote a little bit of text at the top. I always like to immediately do some spaces on every new page, just in case I'm going to add a data table or something like that. You don't have to choose text or turn into or anything like that. You can just start writing. If you want to change the color of the type, just highlight it and you get all kinds of options in this pop-up box here. The letter A is text color. It's also background color, by the way, but up top is text color, and it even is really handy the way they put the last used right at the top. I can easily choose the same cost. When you're doing a home renovation, you got to keep an eye on the budget. I have a different budgeting page that I created, so that's a link to it there. And then this is the details and the design, along with the garden and other ideas. And that is all I need for this renovation hub. To write the deets, I used headlines. So I like to use backslash a lot for shortcuts, and for headings, you can choose what size you like. So for the deets, looks like I did not choose heading 1. Looks like I chose heading 2. So I'm just going to turn that into heading 2. And then you can see that is the same size as this. Then I wanted to make this just simple in 2 columns. Here's a way to do it. You can turn into 2 columns, and then you can see if I want to quickly duplicate that so I don't have to go through the whole rigmarole to find the correct heading size again. And then I'm choosing the spot where it's going to grab that second column. And that didn't work out because it's not level, so I'm just going to move it up 1. Good to go. Next, underneath, I added this single line here. I really like this minimal dividing line. Here I had kind of a subheading that I needed to add to remind myself what the heck I'm doing here. I didn't use it down below, kind of inconsistent, but what the heck. This is my Notion and it's working for me. The fastest way to get that line is \DI for divider, enter. Then you have it. And then I just like to highlight it, duplicate it, drag it, and bring it over here for the next spot. Then I'm ready to create new pages underneath. \PA for page, and now I can name this page and call it house info. And again, I don't bother with adding templates or anything like that. I'm not going to make it too complicated. I'm going to keep it really simple. All I did to get writing in the middle of 2 lines was just start writing out a line and then drag it in between. Looks good, right? Yeah, okay. So let me show you what I'm doing on some of these pages because every page is different. For example, oh my gosh, ordering an external door is so hard. I never imagined it would be this hard. There were so many emails back and forth, so many things I needed to keep track of. I needed to create a Notion page for it. And this is actually where I started. I had a board on Pinterest because different door shops wanted to see my ideas so they could make recommendations to me. And you can make a link populate in several different ways in Notion. So you can just dismiss to have it as a link. You can create a bookmark, or you can create an embed, which is what I've done here. So when you click create embed, amazing the way it populates. And you can click this to get right to the Pinterest page. But for me, I can see it right here, which I really like. It was driving me nuts to have my ideas all over the place. Now they're here. I also found I had to take copious notes. So I created 2 columns, but also the picture from the quote of the door itself so I could remember what we ordered. We're doing a different handle, we're doing a different swing, so I made a note. You can caption pictures if you want. You know, you can comment on them or you can caption them. I could have written a caption, but that takes time. It's just as easy to go underneath and write some text. To make this heading stand out like that, that's actually not a heading, that's just regular text. So I just wrote Friday and then I highlighted it and pressed Command B, which is my shortcut for bold, but you can also do it this way, bolding. So that's how I did that. To do a bullet point, the fastest way to do it is to press hyphen and then space. It automatically becomes a bullet point and then you can write text. If you want to take the long way to do it, you could do it that way, but why? Why do it that way when it's so easy to just press hyphen space? And for here, this is when we realized this door cost tons of money and I wanted to make another little note to myself, so I did it in italics. Again, I like my keyboard shortcut, which is Command I, but you can always do it this way. There were some notes I didn't want to see all the time. This is some stuff in the past now that I want a record of it just to keep track of how long we've been going on this. I upload PDFs right to here. It is so easy to upload things to Notion, whether it's images or PDFs. If you are on desktop, it is simple as just drag and drop. I've had a lot of quotes on this one door. Another page I created looks very different because I haven't done much research yet. I just embedded a website and I can actually scroll through it here without even going to the website, which is really cool. But of course I want to see this in bigger photos, so I'll click out to, if you click out, then I can see it. And of course had to make my emoji some kind of stone so I could easily identify it. Over here on the design side, as I mentioned, I love Pinterest, I love House, but I'm just losing track. So I discovered actually that I could actually take pictures of magazines within the Notion app. They don't even take up space in my camera roll on my phone. But this way, instead of tearing stuff out of magazines and having a mess all over the house, I could just take pictures of the magazines, not wreck my magazines, not tear stuff out, and keep it in here, which maybe it's not perfect, but it's good enough. There's Brad and the range that we really liked. Now, I would not recommend doing it this way, which was just simply uploading photos to the page, because then you kind of end up with this endless scroll, which if you have more than a couple of pictures is kind of exhausting. So on my next page, I could have redone that, but I didn't bother. On my next page, I did something else. I made it a bit more like a Pinterest board. Now, to do that, I used a gallery view. So I'll show you how I made this little picture board, /database, and then I chose gallery view. And then here, it actually shows you some other databases that you have, but I wanted to create a new one. So I went down to the plus sign, and here it gives you 4 to start out. You can title the pages how you want in advance. So if you know you're going to be uploading pictures of pillows, you could call this one pillows. And it gives you a to-do list, but I upload a picture right into there. This is not a picture of a pillow, but I'll just drag and drop here because I'm on my desktop. Now it automatically shows in your table, and if you want to see more of the picture, you can click on it. You have like all kinds of spots here to add notes, all kinds of things. You can create tags, you can add a property just like any database in Notion. Here you can see sometimes I was organized and I did a title. Sometimes I knew I wouldn't be seeing the whole picture at a glance, so I reminded myself why I took this picture. This is actually a picture of cladding on the ceiling, so I need to click in and see it. You can see this is just a magazine photo that I took, and it's actually a couple of photos, so that's good. Cladding photos are organized in one place. Same thing with headboards. I have pictures of multiple ideas for headboards, and instead of this just being an endless scroll, or if today's the day where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to deal with our bed and see what kind of bedding ideas. Yes, I just click on one photo. So I love how organized this is for me. Over here in the garden section, I am keeping ideas for different sections of our yards, almost as if they are different rooms. So the side yard, I realized, oh my gosh, it's super shady over there, and I'm dying to plant it right now, but while we are still under construction, I can't plant anything yet. But I can do some research because I don't know anything about shade plants. So I wrote out just in text here the overall vibe I wanted. And then it's really easy to just import photos from other websites, copy and paste. You can just right click when you're on another website and click copy image, then paste it in here. I'm hiding some information there with my toggle, and then I have ideas alongside the house. I don't know if they're going to work out. I have a link to an article with some really good information. So hopefully this is giving you some ideas how you can organize things yourself and just keep it simple. You can see I was thinking, oh wow, might be really awesome to have an infrared sauna in the backyard. I haven't gotten this page very organized yet. This might be kind of a pipe dream, but I can see our Pinterest here. I've got a link to an article I liked, got an inspiring photo up here, and a little emoji to remind me what we're talking about. So I love it. It's keeping me really organized. If you are also interested in trying out some templates, check out this video here because I give you the rundown on my favorite free Notion templates. If you got value out of this video, give it a like and consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next video.